As Superintendent of the West Virginia State Police, it pains me greatly to stand before you today. Let me bring your attention to the hallway, which is situated right here on my left. We call this the Hallway of Honor. In it hangs the portraits and medals of ours for 38 previously fallen West Virginia State troopers who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving and protecting the citizens of West Virginia. Today we are faced with the harsh reality of adding yet another portrait and medal of valor. Yesterday evening, Corporal Marshall Lee Bailey, who enlisted in the West Virginia State Police on October the 16th, 1995, died as a result of injuries he received during a traffic stop near the Roane County line in West Virginia. Trooper Eric Michael Workman, who enlisted in January of 2011, received serious wounds during the same incident and is currently in extremely critical condition at CAMC General Hospital. Also injured during the incident was a record driver with King's Record Service, Mr. William Massey, and a good friend and colleague of Roane County Deputy Sheriff John Westfall. Both received non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. I believe Mr. Massey was treated and was finally able to be released early AM hours this morning to go home. Deputy Westfall had non-life-threatening injuries, but did have to go undergo surgery to repair one of these wounds and is currently in stable condition at Charleston General Hospital. The suspect in this incident, Mr. Luke Babber from Oak Hill, West Virginia, received fatal wounds after engaging deputies from Clay and Roane counties. Based upon the evidence collected at the scene and witness interviews, to the best of our knowledge, the following represents a chain of events as they occurred. On August 28, 2012, at approximately 7:25 p.m., the initial call was dispatched by Nicholas County 911. Dispatch advised that there was a white Silverado northbound driving recklessly on Interstate 79. They further advised that the truck had wrecked in the median and then taken off once again southbound. Law enforcement officers in Clay and Roane County were also advised. At 7:36 p.m., responding to the dispatch, Corporal Bailey and Trooper Workman stopped the suspect vehicle at the Wallback parking ride and called for King's Record Service to tow the suspect vehicle. During the traffic stop, troopers discovered that Luke Babber was the driver of the suspect vehicle. Upon searching Mr. Barber, troopers determined he was under the influence of intoxicants and placed Mr. Barber under arrest. Once arrested, Mr. Babber was seated in the back seat of our cruiser for transport. At this time, he accessed a high-point 9mm pistol that he had hidden on his person and shot both Corporal Bailey and Trooper Workman. Sometime shortly thereafter, Corporal Bailey and Trooper Workman were shot. William Massey with King's Record Service arrived on the scene. Upon approaching the state police cruiser, Mr. Massey could see that our troopers had been shot. At this time, the suspect also shot Mr. Massey. However, Mr. Massey was able to return back to his record and back away from the scene and get help. At 8:28, an EMT, Mr. Farabee, called and requested Newton EMS for Mr. Massey, the driver who shot me on. At that time, Mr. Massey advised the suspect had shot both Corporal Bailey and Trooper Workman, and that both troopers were unresponsive in their cruisers. Officers from state and local and even federal agencies were dispatched to aid our fallen troopers. A perimeter was set up around the scene and a search of the area was immediately begun. During the search, the suspect was located a short distance from the original scene, at which time he engaged law enforcement officers with gunfire. The officers involved were Christopher Legg with the Clay County Sheriff's Department and John Westfall with the Roane County Sheriff's Department. During this exchange, John Westfall was shot and later transported to CAMC General. Nearby officers Robert Belt and Christopher Davis, the Clay County Sheriff's Department, and Kevin Unger with the Roane County Sheriff's Department assisted Officer Legg and Westfall. The suspect, Luke Baber, was shot and killed at the scene. At 8:43 p.m., Trooper Workman was transported to CAMC General, where he remains in extremely critical condition. Corporal Bailey, unfortunately, was dead upon arrival. And with that, I'll try to answer a grim few questions.
Do you know who shot the suspect? Do you know which officer shot him?
He was shot multiple times.
Multiple times.
We collected officers involved firearms, and we, in the days to come, hope to get a better understanding of that sequence of events.
Do you know where he had this pistol?
We're not exactly sure yet, probably in his groin area.
Was he handcuffed?
Yes, he was.
Did he have a key to the handcuffs somewhere on his person?
We're not sure. It's very possible after he shot our troopers that he could have accessed the key.
Do you know if he was able to get out of the handcuffs before he accessed the gun? Do you know, was he able to get out of the handcuffs?
We believe he was able to access his hidden pistol while he was handcuffed and use it on our troopers.
Do you know if he was handcuffed in the front or the
He
back?
was handcuffed in the front.
Were your troopers together in one car, or were they in two separate
They
cruisers?
were in one car.
Do you know why?
They were working together earlier in the day. They had been together when they received the call. Anybody else?
Did they search him before they put him in the cruiser?
Yes, they did.
Pat down?
Yes, they did.
Just missed it?
Dismissed.
What about
Yes.
the reports that he had taken one of the troopers' guns?
That is accurate after the fact.
So he had his own gun initially, but
Yes,
then
ma'am.
he took a trooper's gun with him.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why he could get off so many shots to
Yes, ma'am.
as many other people.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know which trooper's gun he took and which part of him?
We believe it was Corporal Marshall's firearm.
And do you know where on his body? I know there's several.
Pardon me?
Do you know where on his body that weapon was? What
Was it in the
holster was it?
or-
It was Corporal Marshall's duty weapon.
And so the suspect took it after he had already shot.
That is correct.
Do you know of any, yet any funeral arrangements?
No,
for
ma'am.
Corporal Bailey?
No, ma'am. We're working with the families now.
Okay, and Trooper Workman still in pretty bad shape?
Yes, ma'am.
There had been rumors that Trooper Workman was in a coma. Do you know anything about that, or can you speak to that?
We're certainly not a medical expert. It's our understanding that yes, he is in a coma. He is currently on life support. He received some very severe injuries.
What shots did he have?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he use Corporal Marshall's sidearm to shoot the record driver and then engage in the gun battle with the other deputies?
That is possible. He certainly had it when he exited the cruiser.
But you don't know if he discharged it?
That weapon was discharged.
Corporal Bailey, is he a Clay County guy? Has he always been at that detachment?
Yes, ma'am. He's originally from, I believe actually he's originally from Kanawha County, raised in Putnam County. He was his initial duty station out of the academy, I believe, was Clay County.
The suspect
has some limited record. I'm not sure how extensive. I know he had some domestic batteries. I'm not sure about other arrests.
Do they know why he was in that area in Clay County, if he's from Oak Hill, you know, what he was doing up that way?
We're not 100% sure yet. He has a sister that's a student at WVU. He had spoken with her, and we believe that he was trying to drive north to meet up with her.
Were any drugs found on him, anything like that in the car?
I'm really not sure.
That,
How old was he?
A couple more,
How old was he, Abram?
20. Yes,
that
ma'am.
pickup truck, was it stolen?
Yes, ma'am. One more.
Where was the truck stolen
From Oak Hill.
Do you know when it was stolen?
It was stolen about 5 p.m. yesterday evening.
Do you know who it was stolen from? Was it random?
We know who the victim was. I forgot. Before we go, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies and first responders who've given the state police their assistance and support. We had deputies from Cabell County, every federal agency that I can think of was on the scene. Kanawha County Sheriff's Department, a good friend of ours, Lieutenant Sean Crozier was on scene, and his deputies actually answered the rest of the calls in Clay County for us during the night and up until mid-morning this morning. Extremely appreciative of that. I'd also like to ask all West Virginians to keep all of the afflicted families, their loved ones and friends in your prayers. The days ahead will be difficult. We appreciate your continued support. Thanks again for being here today, and we will certainly keep you apprised of anything that changes, any new developments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.